Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Drinks and Dave Show.
PB already calling us out.
Exactly. We would definitely like to welcome everybody in the lounge for joining us. And remember, I'm Barber Dave. That's Nurse Dave. We're the hosts, but you guys are the co-hosts. So whatever you post is a good thing. So how you doing, Dave? We've had a 3-week hiatus almost.
Crazy, huh? The last time we were together on the show, we were together.
We're in Vegas. Okay, disclaimer and apologies. The show that we had in Vegas was a complete, utter train wreck. But everybody seemed to enjoy it, though. Hello, Spider,
cool.
P-Beat.
As far as we know, we've got no complaints because we don't have a complaint box.
Hey, I do, though, however, have a bone to pick with somebody in our lounge. Can you guess who it may be?
Already?
Yes.
Well, a bone.
Well, okay, let's rephrase that. Maybe a bone is not. Hello, Pantea. Amber. I thought Amber would play the bingo game, and she's not playing the bingo game.
Rich! Good to see you, buddy.
She's not playing the bingo game. Hello, brisket guy.
Oh, my gosh. Look, you know what? I am just happy we didn't lose viewers off of our roller coaster schedule there.
Well, I've got a surprise for you. On the viewer front. Hello, Dad. How are you? Greetings, Earthlings. As they say, live long and prosper, or as Spock says, live long and be careful when you're using super glue.
Right.
So I have a surprise for you. But first, what are you smoking tonight?
You know, well, I'll put that down because I can't wait to I got the Oliva Series V Melanio Figurado, which is, again, one of the sexiest cigars out there. Just the shape of this thing, right? It's tough to roll.
But nobody likes to carry torpedoes because they don't sell very well, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. It's square press. It's narrow on both. I love this thing, and I don't know why. Do you have some that you wish you bought more of, and you don't know why you haven't? This is it for me.
No, because I went a little cigar crazy yesterday. And Tigger Lily knows that, but that's another story. But speaking of, two things. So you're smoking that. I am smoking a Metropolitan Host Maduro in the Hampton version, which is 7x50. So that's a very, very good cigar. And I found out that Ferio Tego recently, now these are being rolled by Davidoff. So this is basically a Davidoff cigar, which is kind of neat. So that's kind of cool. But the depressing...
Nat Sherman... Were they not bought by Davidoff? And then
I heard that Nat Sherman was bought by Davidoff.
And then they quit.
Right. Then they quit. Then they sold it to Ferio Tego, and they created Metro, and then they bought it back, which means that somebody made a boatload of money both times. So, before we get started, also, what are you drinking tonight?
I have brought out the big guns, the Lafroig. Oh, you can't see on my grid. Triple wood.
It's invisible Scotch.
Triple wood. Now, it's one of my favorite Lafroigs, and you can't get it anymore. So I'm judicious with this one.
Now, in honor of the bingo game that we're doing over at the Shaving Cadre, I am drinking the dude's drink.
White Russian.
Minus the white, minus the Russian. It's cold brew coffee and cream.
I was going to say it doesn't look quite right.
Right. So, but the sad part about it, and I think I told you about this, but I had to work, so I missed it. But our good buddy, Tim, owner of Cigars Daily, content creator, they had HabanoCon 2024. It was an event on last Saturday. I couldn't make it, and it was a huge success. But right here, right now, you're hearing for the second time, or maybe the third or fourth, depending on who's talked about it. He is going to do it again this year. So it's going to be twice a year, and it's going to be in October or November. So mark your calendar. It's a one-day event. And late October, November in Phoenix is absolutely gorgeous. It's
bearable.
It's not like it is right now when, flies leave your house and they go, because we were 95. No, we were over 100 yesterday, and we're 95, 96 today down in Tucson. We're a little bit cooler up here.
Because he had some reps from a couple of the major companies, right?
Oliva, you wouldn't believe what Oliva gave away.
Oh,
people were going home with boxes of cigars. They were just Yeah, he had everything. And
Wow.
Nick was out with the people, but I guess Nick lives in Phoenix. I think he does.
Oh,
And then,
Nick of Perdomo.
yes. Oh
Right?
no, Nick from Oliva Nick.
Oh,
Oliva Nick. He's the regional
okay.
sales manager, something like that. And then I think one of the Herreras was there from Drew Estate, and they're going to try to get more people. So that would be great. Well, feel free, Pantea, to send some of your cold weather this way. We would certainly appreciate it.
Not relatively freezing. Let's see. It's under 60 right now here. Yeah.
Our low temperature last night was 71.
Jeez.
But good news is we're going to be in the 80s the rest of the week, so that's like cooling off. But here's what I wanted to surprise you about. And so while I'm looking this up, you need to give everybody a story. Tell everybody a story while I'm looking this up. This is a big surprise. So,
Boy, I don't.
so
Story.
tell everybody what we were talking about when you said about just a real quick update on when people try to self-diagnose themselves.
Oh man, that's not quick. So yeah, so we didn't have a show yesterday because you were under the weather. But
Right.
Just the day before that, how YouTube or TikTok, one of those takes you to, whatever, rabbit hole. And I somehow ran across this YouTube doctor who's an actual doctor. And yeah, this drives me nuts. I've got a cup actually in my office that says something about, your Google degree overriding my nursing degree or whatever. But so he had also a nutritionist who used to be a bodybuilder, all this stuff. Anyway, they were talking about diets.
Oh, is this Dr. Drew?
No, not
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Drew. He's a younger guy. And I guess he's super famous. I never heard of this guy. But they were talking about diets and about how it really just is calories in versus calories out, right? That's all it is if you eat more than you use, you're going to gain weight. And if you use more than you eat, you're going to lose weight. And that's just chemistry, right?
Right.
It's calories is a unit of energy. So regardless of your beliefs and what you think should go into your body and cabbage versus sugar and all this stuff, it's just calories in, calories out. But it was an interesting perspective because they were saying that a huge percentage of overweight people have lost a lot of weight at one point in their lives and then gained it back. And so they're saying, all of the fad diets, and, you can believe what you want, but any diet that's super popular right now, I bet you 10 years from now, it's not going to be super popular. Because if you look back 10 years ago from now and 10 years from that, those diets aren't right.
Well, it's funny you mention that because there's two diets that we're both very aware of that have been around for a long time, but they weren't really diets to begin with. One being the ketogenic diet. That wasn't a diet for weight loss. That was a diet to treat young children that were having seizures. And then of course the Atkins diet's been around for thousands of years. But no, I agree with you. So
right. So their point is that basically it's not what diet quote works for you, because anything where you're taking in less calories than you're using will make you lose weight. It's what can you stick with and what causes you to stick with that. So if it changes something in your brain that says this makes sense to me, so I'm going to stick with it, it doesn't matter what it is, then that's going to work for you. Right. Versus not somebody else.
Right. Notwithstanding any medical diagnoses.
Right. I mean, that's a whole nother thing, right? You don't take in one of the three types of energy. Your body's not really meant to work that way.
Right.
Anyway.
So are you ready for the big news? So we finally did it. We are past the century mark. We have made it, and as of right now, today, we are at 102 subscribers.
Woo! Wow.
So for that reason, we are going to do a giveaway.
I can't. What do I get?
you will get an official Drinks and Dave's T-shirt.
With our logo, like if you
With
look
our
at the
logo,
that gold logo.
That's right. It is worth $13,427,000.13. And
Oh,
on
real
the
gold.
13 cents is the important part. And on the back it says I'm an official Drinks and Dave's Barfly. So here is how you can win one. So next week we will do a drawing on next week's show. So you have to show up for next week's show, and you must be here. You must be here in the audience,
buddy. Okay.
And we will give it away live, and then we will order your shirt. Plus, we're going to give you a choice of color.
I have a proposition. Okay. I want to take it up a notch.
Okay.
Who is that? Who kicks it up a notch?
It's Emerald Lagasse.
Bam!
Bam!
We're going to take, because we have more people that watch this later than we do when it's live.
Okay.
Right. Oh, look who's here. Is this the first time for this fool?
No, we've had him on the show twice.
Yeah.
He's also been in the audience.
Yeah. So my proposition...
The Drinks and Dave shows apologizes for anybody with mental or physical impairments that act like Dave.
Wasn't that was a fun... When we were in Vegas, we got Chad sitting behind us, and I go, they don't know who you are. He's been on the show twice. Guy.
But you know, he was our biggest heckler. Yeah. He's sitting on his phone, and him and Steve are kibitzing about hockey.
No, can we tell him if anybody saw the live show? Probably halfway through, we started getting almost actually frustrated because people in the back of the room had their backs to us. They were like in a little circle. And the conversation, I didn't watch it over again, so I don't know if you could hear them on our mics.
I didn't either. I didn't.
But there was something going. They were completely ignoring us, right? But what did we find out later they were doing?
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, you did? Wait,
no, I didn't know.
They were playing a drinking game.
Oh,
to the Drinks and Dave's show while we were live.
Well,
that's what they were doing.
So, okay, we got to give them a pass then, because they are barflies, they are drunks. You know, we have to give them a break, and not to mention we also have to admit that you and I think KJ was involved towards the end of Chad's bourbon flight. We were kind of really.
It wasn't after that though, was it?
No, it was during it. We were drinking. Remember, you brought the bottle of scotch over, and we were sneaking shots of scotch while he was doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, what? Oh, so my proposition is we give away 2 shirts.
Okay.
One live, and the other one, then we'll say what you have to type in the comments.
Okay.
And we'll give them a week until the next show, and then we'll do however we do.
So we'll do 2 shirts. Okay. Right. You got it. it.
There
okay,
so the folks Letter Live have like
2 shirts. Now, can somebody who watches it later and puts it in the comments, I'm in, or whatever we decide, and comes here live, can they win 2 shirts, or can they only win 1?
I'd say you can have 2 entries. You can only win 1 shirt. So whoever wins live doesn't get to win the drawing. But all of our live barflies, they can.
Perfect. So make sure you join us for next week's show, and if you watch it later,
Dave.
Huh?
Huh? What?
That's coming out of our petty cash.
Yeah. Super petty.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been go.
No, go ahead.
You've been shopping for RVs, and we talked about this once briefly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm curious now that you spent some time. You're doing the actual RV, not a trailer.
Right. A motorhome.
So, what features are you finding that you definitely want in a motorhome?
Wheels and tires.
6 or 4?
6.
Right.
6.
Good idea.
6. No, we're pretty basic when it comes to that, because it's basically, we're one of those people that we are basically buying an RV for the dog.
Right.
Everybody.
So does he get half of it? Does he get
for the
big old...
that's the point. I mean, everybody calls you bougie. You're not even close compared to our dog. I mean, he gets gourmet food now.
Yeah.
He doesn't go out. If it's under a certain temperature of degrees, And now he is going to have his own chauffeur and motor coach and leather
No.
couch to just relax on. So yeah, no, we're looking for something small, probably under 30 feet, that we can get into tight places. And we saw one today that we really, really like. We're not looking for new; we're looking for used. And it's about 26 feet, but it has two slides on it, nice large bedroom and stuff like that. So we're in the process of it. I don't want to jinx anything, so but no, having you know, good air conditioning, airflow, a powerful engine for climbing, towability, good kitchen setup, refrigerator, outdoor entertainment. Because this one we're looking at has an outdoor stereo, and you can hook up to a grill, so you can do all your grilling outside and under a nice awning and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Now you're gonna have to get shoes for your dog. You know that, right? Because wherever you park, there could be pine needles, things like that that are a little bit pokey. Could be some hot asphalt where you park.
well,
You need some Nikes.
we've talked about getting him these little booties, but I have a feeling I know how we'd walk in them.
Yeah.
He would prance, but no, we just want to be able to enjoy the outdoor. We want to be able to just, like, if we drive along and we see a lake, we want to park next to the lake and just enjoy it. Because I only have the shop open 4 days a week, so we really have 3-day weekends every week. So we'll use it. We'll definitely use it. Plus, we want to
Yeah.
escape the surface of the sun a lot during the summer.
This is a good idea. This is a good idea.
We thought about that, but unfortunately, it is against the law.
Which part of this is against the law?
A mobile barbershop.
Now, can you make house calls?
Technically, no. Technically, no, because the board of barbering sets up the parameters for sterile procedure, how things have to be kept, and they can't control that if you go over to somebody else's house. Not to mention the liability involved if something happens at somebody's house. So technically, no. Now, during COVID, was everybody doing it? Absolutely. So it was one of those things where you don't do that. Oh, look at the pretty squirrel. Don't do that. That type of thing. And I know that there are mobile barbershops. There's a guy that's already done it, that he has a motorhome that he completely decked out, and it looks just like a barbershop. It depends on the state, because the thing is, to cut hair, you have to be licensed in the state you're in. And so, do people do it? Yes. And yes, I have. I've done that a number of times, where I have a client that, for whatever reason, ends up in the hospital or in a nursing home or stuff like that. I've cut one person's hair in the hospital and one person's hair at a rehabilitation center, and I just charge a special rate for that. But
Yeah,
yes.
my mother-in-law does at kind of like I don't know if it's skilled nursing or just a retirement home, but there's an actual barber shop room in there. So you're saying, so they come in and inspect, like your shop, they come in and inspect it for health. So that's what you can't get around if you're in an RV or whatever that hasn't been inspected. And
Right. There's been a huge push to do something like that. And yeah, that would be cool, because you could technically live on the road full time if you wanted to, and still have an income. But
which is kind of bizarre, because I get that when you have the license you have, not that you would, but you can do facials and nails and all that other stuff, right? Which is a little bit more invasive. If all you're working with is a pair of scissors and a comb, and you got a bottle of Barbasol, then that's it, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, the problem is, the shears that you have, and they're not scissors, they are shears. They are shears.
Apologies.
They're razor sharp. So when you're trimming around someone's ear or something like that, ears have been snipped. Blood has been, and the thing is, and how, anytime, about blood spill procedures and stuff like that, we have to go through the same stuff. So in other words, let's say that you are cutting somebody's hair and you just barely nick their ear. Legally, you got to stop the haircut immediately. You have to disinfect all of the tools. You have to disinfect your hands. You have to disinfect around, and then stop the blood, blah, 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 blah. Now, to me, does it happen? Sure. I mean, that sometimes it's not avoidable. It happens more so sometimes in the shaving part of things than in the hair cutting. But the hair cutting can be more dangerous because I've seen barbers combing down the side of the hair, and they go to snip, and instead of taking the comb and using the comb as a fence between the ear and the shears, they'll move the comb a little bit, and they'll get some resistance, and they'll think it's just like a knot in the hair, and they'll cut right through the top of the ear, just the very cartilage top of the ear.
When's the last
And
time you cut a client?
oh,
All
it's
right,
been years.
just between us.
No, it's been years, 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 years. Probably when I first started in barber
Oh,
school.
long time.
Yeah, barber.
But that
yeah.
kind of thing, right at the top, right at the top.
Yeah, it's usually right around the top of the ear, and sometimes when you're shaving, sometimes it's at the what we call the V, so behind the ear and down. But it's just, I mean, it's going to happen. And then every once in a while, just like when we're shaving, you'll get somebody that gets an angry follicle or something, or a mole or something like that, and it happens. That's why, you keep your nick relief in right next to you.
Yeah. They get mad at you when that happens?
No, not usually, because most of them understand that it happens. It's they're trusting you to shave around their face or around their neck and stuff like that. And sometimes it happens, but no major, like something you'd see in a Hollywood movie, where you got blood doing this. You don't have anything like that. But
sure enough.
and yes, and as PB said, it is just a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound. So that whole thing I was watching, to get back onto what I was going to talk about last week, I thought it was interesting that they brought the whole diet thing back to whatever works for you that you'll stick with is the best diet, because otherwise. But it was interesting because they got on to like all the other stuff that people don't want to think about, I think is the best way to say it. Like anything that says that it detoxifies the body.
Right.
That's one of my big, huge pet peeves is like, what do you think happens if your body isn't detoxifying itself every single day? Or, this food is high in this one amino acid. What makes you think you need that? What makes you think you're low on that? All this stuff. So I just would, I was just, it would have been a different show last week when I was all fired up. I'm kind of off of my, my soapbox now, so I can just kind of reflect on it. But that drives me crazy. Equally for the people that try to sell this stuff or pitch their ideas or whatever, as for the people that just take in some dude on the internet's word for, Hey, can you hear that? I think there's an outboard boat going up our hill. But anyway,
Have you tried the latest in brain care?
I haven't even opened my scotch, Dave.
I know. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need
Maybe
to do that.
all right,
Well,
let's
I
get to
think
that.
I think there's pros and cons to both sides of that argument, because we obviously know that there are some supplements that do good, certain vitamins and stuff like that. We know that those have been scientifically proven. But yeah, I think
Go ahead.
that well, biotin, number one. Biotin works for hair and nails, and it will prevent the hair from getting thinner. It'll strengthen the cuticle part of the hair. That's all been scientifically proven. It's good for nails. It hardens the nails. Vitamin C, vitamin A, but these are all things that you have in your body already. But sometimes your body can supplement. There's nothing, and the thing is, and people know that, or they should know that if they take too much of one thing, your body's gonna do what it does best. It will flush it out. So I agree with you in the fact that these people that are pushing a lot of these diet supplements and stuff like that, what they don't realize is, take 2 pills 3 times a day with food, and your body is going to say thank you very much, and you're going to excrete it before it has any effect on your body. I agree there. I also agree to those guys that you hear on, there's one guy that's very popular that Dr. Drew promotes, and he's the guy that says, this donut is a carb killer, or this is a carb killer, this is a carb killer. But if you've ever watched his spiel, you go on there and he never gets to the point. It's always like, we're going to show you this in 10 easy steps. Well, 3 weeks later, you get to the first step, and then to really fulfill everything you need for this, send us $39.99. So the guy is really, although he may be a trainer for the Stars, I don't know that for sure, but he's making money. That's what it comes down to. It comes down
Yeah.
to dinero, more than anything else.
Well, so most vitamins you take are safe because, like you said, any extra, you're just peeing them out. So people that are like, well, I'm going to eat this vegetable because it's high in whatever vitamin. First of all, compared to what? And are you low in that vitamin? I mean, you're not going to hurt yourself eating. You're not going to OD
Right.
eating vegetables and fruits. But if you're taking pills, one, what makes you think that you need that? And two, water soluble vitamins go right out. Fat solubles can build up in the body. And if you're taking mega doses of those, which I bet a lot of people don't know the difference between the two, you can really do some damage.
Well, as a matter of fact, there's a fat soluble vitamin. I think it's the same. Is it carrot? Is not keratin. What's the term that makes carrots orange? Oh, what? But it's a fat soluble vitamin. But people were taking a lot of that, and they actually started turning a shade of orange. Now, one thing that I do take that was recommended by my doctor due to the diabetes is alpha lipoic acid.
All right.
He said
So,
that
yeah,
does
as long
help.
as your doctor, like I said, if you get blood tested and you're low in vitamin whatever, okay, you could use a supplement because our diets aren't necessarily high in everything that we should have.
Right. That's
But
it.
just like the anti-inflammatories too. One, inflammation isn't always bad for your body. But if you hear anybody trying to sell anti-inflammatory stuff, it reduces inflammation in your body. First of all, what makes you think you've got some you need to handle?
Well, I've got about 40. I've got about 40 pounds.
40 pounds of inflammation, pizza inflammation. That's different. That's different. Yeah, you got it. This is serious, Dave. You got to keep your cookie blood levels consistent. If they drop too low, it causes orneriness. It causes depression.
You realize that any diabetic doctor in the world that knows where diabetics going, that's it. Screw it. But you know what's funny? No, wait. Now now I'm wound up.
Okay.
So we've had these discussions between you and me about with our Freestyle Monitor 3 and watching our blood levels and stuff like that, and obviously Vegas. That was, I throw that one out the window because that was like my blood monitor level says, you know what, I'm going back home. Put me back on when you're going to be responsible, but I'm not going to waste my time working on what you're doing. But I was having the same issue you were. Changed the sensor, and it changed everything because I think the way these things work is, you have a needle that's in your system. Well, as soon as you invade, and you can tell me as a nurse, but as soon as you invade or you put something into your skin, even if it's in the soft, fleshy part of your skin, immediately your leukocytes are going, we need to repair this. And I really do think that there are some repairing going on around that needle that could cause some blood flow issues that could give us false results. I don't know if that's true or not, but we've seen the numbers. But what's weird is yesterday I had a salad, but it was a salad with sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts and blue cheese dressing. Now, blue cheese dressing is not exactly what you'd call a healthy dressing. And so I'm looking at my phone going, okay, here we go. Time to ride the roller coaster. It went down. So I'm starting to wonder if this whole diabetes thing is a scam.
Yeah, well, that's one of my other favorites too. Is everything is so that big pharma can make money. It's like, yeah, okay, but when you have a headache, you take Tylenol, right? That's not big pharma. That's my head hurts and I want to fix it. But if they want to,
let's not get on the subject of headaches. That you, as you know,
well, or blood pressure meds or whatever. Anyway,
yeah. So
this is right. Well, they had enough. That's the thing, PB. They had enough. They didn't need to supplement, and they supplemented too much with.
Well, and the thing is, and let's face it, the one person that knows everything about what happened to it wasn't River Phoenix. Who was the guy that played the Joker? Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger. Yeah. Johnny Depp knows what happened to Heath Ledger,
Is he
but
one
he
of those
seems
party
to be the
boys?
only one. Yeah.
Boy, Johnny Depp, boy, that dude was affected 20 years ago and still is just kind of
I'm sorry.
residual. What?
I hope that Disney, under the new management, Disney comes back and says, mea culpa, mea culpa. We want you to come. Because I'm sorry, he's the only one.
Yeah.
They could try to replace the pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean. Ain't going to happen. It's got to be him. It's like replacing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. You can't do it. You absolutely can't do it. And so I'm waiting for Disney to come back and for Johnny to say, okay, I'll do it. There would be 12 zeros in my paycheck.
Big time. Well, and everybody's, it would be worth it. And I think that he said that if you apologize to me publicly, then I'll come back and do it. Otherwise,
Well, and apparently, I don't know how they're going to do it, but in the MCU, somehow Robert Downey is trying to push Iron Man. And I'm thinking, how? But I don't know how he would come back. But who knows? It's the MCU. You can make anything happen in the MCU. Because with Doctor Strange, he can change everything.
MCU is Marvel something universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to sound cool. I have no idea what it means. I think it's the Marvel comic universe, I think.
Is it?
Oh, by the way, wait, I got another bone to pick with some people in this room and you. So I was completely, totally fine without watching Fallout. I didn't know about it. I didn't care about it. I didn't know the name. But I was on the thread on the Cadre yesterday, and I saw what you posted, and it tickled me a little bit. And I said, "That's a video game," because Halo was good, but it wasn't anywhere near the game, and it wasn't in the right spots. But it was a good show. So last night I'm flipping through. I said, "What the heck? Let's watch Fallout." I didn't go to bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning because we were binging it because it was so awesome.
Yeah, weird, right?
Now, Tig Lily is not happy with me right now. She thinks it's a little too gory, but she can't look away. It's like a bug light. You can't look away from it. You see the gore, you see the stupidity, and you go, I can't do this. And then you're like, okay, when's the next episode start? It's awesome. We're only on episode 3, so I know we've got 5 more to go through.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, you started at midnight?
No. See, watching. Okay, I guess I.
Oh,
now I'm
right.
gonna,
You told us this.
Yeah, I'll say it again for
There's a
those
lot
of you
of
who've never heard this
pausing.
before. Yes, if we watch an hour show actually equates into Pueblo time, as I call it, into 3.5 to 4 hours. I got to go get my coffee. Pause. I got to get the cat some chicken. Pause. The dog needs to go out. Pause. The dog needs to go out again. Pause. So yeah, we don't see. She's already growling at me. The funny thing is, the dog never bothers me. I'm sitting there watching TV, smoking a cigar, having fun, and the dog will look at me, and then look at Sharon, and walk right up to Sharon and start pawing at her.
Oh, because you're going to be like, you're going to wait till the end of the show, buddy.
Exactly. But no, the show is good, and Goggins, the guy that plays the ghoul, he is just amazing. And we're at the point right now where we're finding out how he became what he became. That's where we're at. So I guess maybe we're in 3. I guess I can't remember.
Yeah. That's funny because that's the opposite of now. Very rarely do I watch recorded shows. Almost everything is streamed. But back in that transition time, if there was a network show and I caught it when it was starting live, I wouldn't dare watch it then because you couldn't fast forward anything.
Right.
I'm not going to sit through a commercial, right? You watch something else for half an hour, then come back so you can fast forward the commercials.
Right. But see, now it's like on Amazon or Paramount Plus, it's like watching a movie. It's that's right. So that's become our latest binge. Then of course we've been watching Resident Alien. The thing I don't like, and I think KJ Spider made a comment on it yesterday in the forum, is that these short series episodes, 8 episodes, and then having to wait for 2 years, that drives me nuts. Because what do most of us do? We binge it. Okay, so it's Sunday, it's Saturday night. Okay, let's meet at the refrigerator on Sunday afternoon, and we'll have dinner. And then you watch, and then at the end of the series, you're like, okay,
Now what?
Now what? Because we're waiting for Tulsa King, we're waiting for Strange New Worlds, we're waiting for Halo the next, and that's going to be 2 years from now. They've already said, the next Halo will come out in 2026. Dear Lord. So.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's
there's my rant.
interesting. That I mean, obviously it works as a model, but you would think. I think there's some things that it's been so long since the last season that we're kind of like have mentally moved on, and we're like, yeah, forget it. That was years ago.
You know, we haven't started watching Argyle. Major Rich was talking about Argyle. I guess it's a book about a cat or something like that, but it turns out to be that she wrote the truth about spies and stuff. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Argyle.
Yeah, it's got Henry Cavill in it, and so I guess it's pretty good.
We're
There's a
gonna
lot
have
of
to.
shows out there. I mean, you know, that's the other problem is there's so much out there right now that you just don't know what to pick and choose.
Yeah. Well, and luckily though, that's the thing is you can watch the first episode and see if you can get into it or not. We're
Yeah, but
into what is it? Only Murders in the Building with Steve.
you know, we haven't watched that yet, and I love both. I love those characters. I love
They're
Steve Martin, and
cute.
I hear it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
So
it's
so
funny.
see that's another one I got to add to the list. I got a magnet here. Shows to watch.
Oh,
You
see,
know,
we got to start doing that. Is that we'll say, oh yeah, let's watch this, and then by the
and then
time we need a, yeah. But yeah, that was Fallout's a weird one because I don't quite know why it was so interesting, and it
because it
like
doesn't
jumped
fall
all over.
and it doesn't fall in the I mean, I like science fiction, but I don't like Night of the Living Dead. That big zombie. I don't like the zombie stuff. I
Hmm.
really don't like gore for the most part. But like I said, you know, and I think what it is, it's the juxtaposition of the Vault Girl being such a prim and proper, and you know, remember the golden rule, you know, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good show though. I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes. But also, they're so technically advanced now as far as what they do. I can see why it takes 2 years to create a season. You know, so
Yeah. When's you got what's that moon one
oh,
for all mankind?
For All Mankind, yeah, 26,
No,
20.
2026 is when
I
it
think
comes
that's
back.
when. Yeah, because remember the last season just ended. We would
Well,
talk.
just was like 4 months ago,
I
right?
know, I know.
Hmm.
I, a shot in the dark, Stephen. I don't know what that is. Do you know
Well,
what
they
that
were
one is, Dave?
talking about Peter Sellers movies.
Oh, yes. I think the best one of his was, and I'm so terrible with. What was that? Type it.
We'll cut that out of the show
Yeah, type it.
in
The
editing.
one where he plays, was it the gardener? He plays Chauncey the gardener, and he's a really, oh, it was such a good movie. I think it was one of his last movies, but it's got Shirley MacLaine in it. Oh, it was just an incredible movie because at the very end, you're trying to
Is that
figure
it?
out who he was. Being there, that's it.
Is that it?
And what was amazing, and I don't know if anybody else feels this, but at the very end of that movie, he's walking and he walks out onto a lake, but he doesn't sink. He's walking across the lake. And I'm looking at that
Mm.
going, wait a minute. Is this Jesus? You know, I mean, because it's just the way they did it was just amazing.
Did you watch the series with Ted Danson? Was God?
Oh yeah, Sharon loved that.
That was a great
She
one.
loved, yeah, because it was just a reverse of what you think it would be like.
Mm. Um,
And I
Ponte will have to put in what the name of this is. And I don't know if you were a Downton Abbey fan.
no, I never watched it.
For some reason, I love the actors and I love the writing, which that's normally not my like period pieces are normally
Hmm.
not my thing, but just really got into that one. And the same producer writer redid it in New York during the wave of the barons of the railroad barons and things
Uh-huh.
like that. But same thing, right? The big huge mansions in New York, and then the downstairs and the
Oh wow,
upstairs, and so well done,
that would have been really cool.
amazing. Yeah,
And
we just got
there
done with
was
that.
there was another one that Sharon really liked, and it was written by a lady that lives in Phoenix. The original books, and it's about this lady in Scotland, and they go back. She goes back in time, and Tig Lily will have to put the name of the thing on here. Same thing. It's
We
like
don't know what the
no, It just turn TV on, me watch. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Outlander. If you enjoyed Downton Abbey, you would love Outlander.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
I'll say, well, okay, we'll try that out, and then I'm gonna forget by.
Oh, speaking
after
of,
dinner.
did you watch The Dude? Did you watch The Big
Oh, didn't you see?
Well, I saw that you put the screen up. What'd you think of it?
So tell them though. So you're running bingo on the cadre now, and you're doing a bowling bingo,
Right.
and there was a reference to White Russians, which I didn't pick up on because it was in the movie The Big Lebowski, right? Which I had never seen. And so you're like, okay, you got to watch this to make bingo more fun. So I watched it. And halfway through it was interesting. It was better than I thought it would be. I'll give you that. Like when I see like a guy who's just kind of the looks of his character, that's what turns me off, because I don't want to watch like a down and out and stumbly, dirty. But it was better than I thought it was going to be. But halfway through, I started thinking, I can't imagine what these people would have said in a pitch movie that would have made somebody agree to make this movie.
Well, but like, I think it's what are the two brothers, the Wachowskis? I think it's one of
the weird stuff back then. Yeah.
And well, the thing about the movie is just the character development. It reminds me a lot of the original Fargo movie because it's so warped. Like when John Goodman takes the ashes and they're on the beach and the wind is blowing this way, and then he looks around and he goes, "Fuck it, let's go bowling." And everything revolves around the bowling thing. So which
is weird because you never get to see the big bowling match at the end. I thought it was all building up to that, and it's over.
Oh, I love it.
It feels like it.
Aw, that makes my heart flutter. Thank you, P-Beat.
Wait.
That could be, I guess wait a minute.
You're saying.
Wait a minute. Oh, let me read this. Sometimes it feels like tit should be 2 years between drinks and Dave's.
Well, I get it should be, but is he saying, every
I know
week
it could be a good or a bad,
much?
yeah.
Whatever, PB, you show up for these things. We know you love us. That's all right.
And you know who I'm not seeing here that really wanted us to talk about certain things? Can everybody say it together? Can we say it together? Can we say it together? Steven did not show up again. Yeah. Now, we know that Chad watches it the next day. Yeah. Now, that much I do know. Oh, okay. Okay, I've got it. This is a mea culpa. I've got to read this. So, I, being David of this statement, misled me to read a book called They Call It Sleep until there was 1/6 left. Now, understand, this book is like 650 pages.
1/6 is very specific. Can we just
because here's what happened. We were talking about. Now, I had told her that it was a great book, and what it's about a down and out Puerto Rican family in New York City, and I had told her I read it. I read like maybe 14 words, but it was laying around, and so she did.
You told her it was great?
Yeah. And finally, about 1/6, there was 1/6 left, and I looked at her one day and I said, "Honey, I have to admit something. I never read the book." And this is years ago. We're not talking like last week. This is years ago. And so anybody who says that your wife does not hold a grudge, this one she's holding on to.
That's hours she's never getting back, and she remembers.
I know what's going to happen. On my tombstone, she's going to have that book imprinted into my tombstone saying,
"No, it's just going to say They Call It Sleep." David Eisenhower. That's kind of nice.
You just gave her an idea and she'll do it. So that was very. If
you can follow that up with War and Peace.
Exactly. Well, if P-Beat meant that it's been 2 years since and you missed our show so much, then thank you. If it's the alternate, well, look at the talent you're dealing with. What do you expect?
Hey, we're at 100. We're at 100 people. Only 400 more, and we can quit our jobs, right? We can monetize then.
Oh no, we can. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't talk about quitting jobs. So
no,
you might be able to go down to McDonald's and get a cheeseburger.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh man, that would be I'll tell you what. We agree right now. The first check, if we ever get a check from this show, we were spin it at McDonald's and do a live showing we're
Absolutely.
gonna buy Happy Meals with the check we get from
That would be
Drinks and Dave
beautiful. Because
money.
here's the cool thing. So at 1,000 or so, you're making about $100 every 3 months. So at 500, we're going to get probably $10 every 6 months. So the cool thing
Mm.
is, one of us, either me or you, will spend the money to fly out to the other person to spend $10 on a McDonald's. That's
That's-
beautiful.
It's the
perfect.
principle of the thing. I'm sure you
I
have
was
the
really
watch.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the watch. I don't even know how that works though. If like live, like if we have 10 people and the show's an hour, is that 600 watch minutes? Do they count the live stuff?
Yeah, I think it's all counted. I don't know.
No.
But what happened to the? Yeah, you know what? The Johnny Carson contracts. Unfortunately, Johnny retired, and Stephen Colbert doesn't want anything to do with us, and
Well, wait. To be fair, we haven't asked.
Well, that's true too.
Right, we could send them what are they? A sizzle reel. Put together the hot
Yeah, somehow
5 minutes of the.
I see this. So what else is going on? I mean, what have you been doing on your off time when we've been off the air?
Well, what did?
I know
There's
you had to
been-
stay home. I know you had to stay home for a little while because you had an
Yeah,
infirm child.
there's been some illness going around this area. We've had employees out. I've got one that's going to be out a week and a half with fever and stuff, and just non-COVID viral stuff is going around. Yeah, my daughter was homesick for 2 days in a row, and I hate to take any enjoyment out of that because she was miserable. But boy, they were beautiful days. And my work from home I can do with my laptop out on the deck, and
Nice.
it's been a long time since I got to work from home, so I enjoyed that.
No, it wasn't. It was like 6 months ago.
What are you talking about?
It was like 6 months ago because I remember you saying, "I'm working from home," and you were smoking a cigarette and typing on your computer. Don't even start. You're
Okay,
one.
well, it's
you're,
been 6 months.
You're
There
one
are some
removed.
people.
You're one removed from Chad. Chad works at home every day of the week.
Well, I'm not even close to that. There's some people that get to work home all the time or fairly frequently. For the most part, we're not allowed to work at home at all. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
The watch show is coming up. Does your wife know
Yes.
about the watch show?
I hadn't told her yet, but thank you. She now
Okay.
knows.
Yeah. Well, let's say I didn't
probably
say a
would.
word.
Yeah, well, I probably won't be coming because if we're
You won't?
planning,
Okay.
well, if we're planning on heading out there later on in the year,
Yeah.
Plus, really right now, there's only one watch that I'm really.
Here's your answer.
There it is. No.
Oh. Uh-uh.
No, I think what she's saying, not that I can't go. She's saying that no, I didn't tell her about it.
I think it probably applies to both.
Well, it could, but there's only one watch that I'm really looking at right now, and it's like.
Wait.
yeah, it's okay.
Let me guess. Is it Omega?
No,
No. I thought they put out some new. Okay, what is it?
it's the Tudor Black Bay GMT.
Yeah,
Coke
you've been
bezel.
kind of stuck on Tudor for a while.
Yeah, I don't know, but right now, all my focus is going towards the RV. That's my focus.
Mm,
Yeah. Oh, I would love
do,
to.
do you have to?
That's
Is
a
it
great idea. Thank you.
a big horn?
I'm gonna get one of those big semi horns. Yes.
Now, also, is it in the summertime when you drive it? Do you have to wear Crocs, or is that just optional?
I can. I can honestly say I have never, ever even put on a pair of Crocs.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't-
I have. You know what though? If you bought a pair of Crocs, I would buy you hella gibbets to put on there. Aren't
No,
those the things that you stick on the holes, the gibbets?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
first of all, I've heard that they are the most comfortable things in the world. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, he wears them, when he's with his unicorn and his bottle of lotion. But no, it's like Birkenstocks. I can't do Birkenstocks. Because I just can't. I just cannot. Yeah, right. I do not have $2 million to spend on a watch.
What's
Well, but
that?
unless we get more viewers. See, if we get more viewers, then I will.
Right, it's up to all of you. Well, once we get more, you can get the memberships and do the super chats, and they can just throw money at you for.
Are you ready for a shocker?
We can do that now. Oh. Wow,
Wow.
I really don't know what to think about that.
This just changed. It changed everything for me. It
Now,
changed my.
Jerry is our resident barbecue smoke master.
And
Do you
he's a
picture him
big,
out in the snow?
yeah, he's a big strapping guy with a nice beard and everything else, and he wears Crocs.
Wait, do we need to get him some gibbets? I'm gonna
Yes,
get.
we're gonna get Jerry some gibbets.
If I can find some San Francisco, I don't know if they've got them. If they got like the Bridge and SF,
Oh, that
I'll
would
get him
be
some
perfect.
gibbets. Yeah,
Jerry and the Gibbets. Yeah, and same. Hey, that would be a good band, Jerry. Jerry and the Gibbets. That'd be a good
Yeah.
blues band. That would be awesome. No,
Yeah.
and I can't do Birkenstocks either. Because when I look at a Birkenstock, and I'm sorry for the people that wear Birkenstocks, that they're comfortable and everything else, but every time I look at somebody wearing Birkenstocks, all I can think of is BO. I don't know why.
No, I get you. There's a stereotype there. Healthcare is about trendy footwear. The different groups of folks tend to wear all the same stuff. So actually, Birkenstocks, but there's like some off-brand of Birkies that are like even more foamy that surgeons in certain places wear quite a bit just because they're standing all day long.
Well,
And
now
then
can they wear Can they wear Crocs at work?
well, they've got to be clothed. Well, they also wear covers.
Oh, okay.
But where I first started nursing, a lot of nurses wore Birkenstocks because the cork's supposed to form to your foot, and it's supposed to provide. I got a stress fracture in my foot walking in Birkenstocks once.
See,
Well,
there it
the
is.
end of the Birkies for it. But they
Now,
were the shoe. I mean, we're not wearing sandals. They're the
did you
shoe.
guys? You said that being in nursing, that the footwear kind of trends. Remember the footwear that had the shock absorbers in the back from the tennis shoes?
Well,
I remember seeing those in the hospital a lot, and then I know now Hoka and UFOs are the big ones right now. UFOs, UFOs are fantastic. They are
is
wonderful.
that what you wear at the shop? You stand
No,
up
no,
all
no,
day.
no. I wear the nursing version of the Hoka tennis shoes. They're wonderful. They're absolutely fantastic. But no, the UFOs is like a recovery shoe. So when you get home, you put that on and you go,
I see. I got fired up with Nike once. I think it was prior to COVID. They came out with a nursing, not like an ugly shoe, but it was like dedicated to nurses, and it had some design on it or something like that. But they didn't have any in men's sizes. They were just but they were like, they weren't pink and stuff like that. But I shot them off an email like, hey, what kind of sexist stuff is this? I never heard back. Never back from those.
So, but I mean, you're not on the floor anymore. So
No.
I would imagine
gotta
you're
wear
wearing
dress
dress
shoes.
shoes. Yeah, that's what I figured. Dress shoes.
Yeah. You know what I do have though is office slippers. That's the way to go. Anybody who works in an office, if you do not have a pair of office slippers, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Office slippers.
That's right. You and it used to be I don't have slip-on dress shoes anymore, but I used to almost wear exclusively that. So I get into the office, slip those off, put on my nice soft slippers to just around the office, and then if I had to leave.
So that begs the question. So you're in your office slippers, and your boss or somebody says, "Hey, Dave, we need you out over here." Have you ever walked out of your office and still had the slippers on?
Only once. Only.
And were you reminded of that, or did you
No, I
just-
don't know that anybody knows. I didn't get too far, and they're the closed toe and black and stuff. So
Oh, so they're not like fuzzy pink slippers or anything like that.
Not these. No, I mean that's just for
Special times.
a onesie would be nice too when it gets a little chilly. I wouldn't mind a dress onesie. I'd have to have a dress onesie.
Well, they're making shoes. I saw this because I don't wear dress shoes anymore because I don't need to. But when I was in the insurance industry, it was always a suit and tie and stuff. And they make dress shoes now, like what Rich is talking about, wingtips that have tennis shoe style soles on them now, and they're really nice looking. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
I wish we had those back then.
Yeah, I remember Rockports back when I was doing sales. Jeez, when the mid '90s, late '90s. That was kind of the shoe of the salesman.
What were you selling?
TVs, VCRs, Sears.
Oh, that's right. You talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That brings back
yeah.
good memories because our history teacher, Mr. Qualls, he moonlighted at the Sears Audio and Video Center.
And so, you know what's obviously Sears went out of business a long time ago, but I know they took pride as one of the one letter stock symbols. They were S. And now there's another company that has S. Like Sears is so far gone they even
Right, right,
reassign
right.
their stock symbol.
You know what we forgot to do tonight? We forgot to ask the barflies if they have any questions. And there's our first one. Did you ever sell any
Oh.
Walkmans?
No, because I was in the visual side of audio
Oh,
visual
TVs.
TVs. Yeah, but I sold VCRs. It was when DirecTV was first coming out, so we had to explain to people how many channels they could get. And
And now they're thinking back. You know that salesman, Dave, he told us there was going to be 420 channels, and how come only 3 of them
yeah,
have anything we want to watch?
Laserdisc. Oh yeah, buddy,
Oh my
we did
lord, yeah.
Laserdisc. I'm trying to remember which movies we would play. Grumpy old men. We played
Peter
that all the
Matthau,
time.
yep.
Yeah, watched that quite a bit.
Walter Matthau.
And then of course we talked about this the big huge floor standing projection TVs that
Well,
are like
I have some
$3,000.
bad news. Unless he came back, got a text from Jerry and he lost his connection. He's trying to get back in. So I think maybe his Crocs became.
I know. Throw on the Crocs, Jerry, and go plug that wire back in. So, I was gonna say the other thing that has happened recently is our girls are, some have left the nest, others are preparing to leave the nest, so we're on that cusp, right? And so I'm sure that the sadness, and once everybody's gone, it'll still probably be more of a transition than we can imagine, right? That
Sure,
all of a
sure.
sudden they're just not here,
Right.
and it's going to be sad and all this stuff. But on the flip side, we're starting to think about being able to travel during non-school
Mm-hmm.
holidays, and without worrying about the kids or lower prices and stuff like that. And so we've started planning on some of that kind of stuff.
And
So
here's the next one.
oh, Pee-wee!
And
No.
everybody who's had boys is going, yes, yes, yes. Oh, speaking of your daughter, though, I noticed on another social media platform that one of your daughters, and I've been kind of following that, is really into the stage stuff. Now, is this something that she
Yeah.
may do as a? I mean, is she thinking about pushing that as a
Well,
career?
we'll see. That's my wife's youngest,
Mm-hmm.
and she's quite the talent. She's a good singer, good actress, does it all, and we don't know where it's going to end up. I think we talked enough about it that she knows that it's like winning the lottery, being able to make a living doing that.
Right.
Um, so that's not going to be the whole goal, but um, she's decided for a while she wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that she's decided that she wants to go to a school that she can at least get a minor in, like
Theater.
theatrical arts or something like that,
Well,
and
she's
stay
what?
involved in it.
She's a junior this year.
She's a junior, yeah.
Okay.
So she'll be
Well, I
well.
mean, I think it would be cool because it seems like she really has an aptitude for it, though. I mean, the stage presence is good,
Yeah,
and there's no fright and stuff like that. So that would be nice, kind of neat.
yeah.
But like you said, at least you're warning her. It's like this ain't easy. I mean, get used to carrying plate while you're going to auditions every day.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and that's the benefit. She's a teenager, so we got all the craziness to deal with anyway. But to her credit, is she's somewhat realistic. So there will be some kind of a bachelor's degree that is not that she can continue to pursue that in a career and all that while going on auditions and all that stuff.
That's
And
cool. That's
I
cool.
said, well, what happens if you get offered a big part and you're and still in college? So he goes, we'll just see what happens. So
That's pretty cool. That's
yeah,
and you're eyeing your first Bugatti, right?
my first book.
Honey, go ahead and take that job. Daddy needs a new Bugatti.
Oh no, I told my wife I just don't want to have to retire to a place that smells like bleach. You know, that's like the skilled nursing facilities and
Oh,
stuff that
oh,
you just walk in and it's just a white room with 4 people in their beds and one little 13-inch TV on the wall. And
right, 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 right.
oh dear Lord.
Yeah, that would not be. That would not be fun.
Mhm.
So, well, let's take a couple of questions before we head off into the ether. So, is there anybody out there? I got to ask this question, and I'm cringing. Those of you that did watch our live show,
Oh,
give us your thoughts. You know that what you're hearing now is you're hearing the Johnstown field cricket.
no, you know what? I think the barflies are thinking, "Look, us showing up isn't enough. Now we got to work to be here."
Yeah, that's true. I think that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
we ought to offer them free drinks. I mean, heck, we're giving away shirts. We're giving away million
Who could
dollar
ask for?
shirts.
You know, and I'm still gonna say our logo is pretty darn cool. Even you walk around wearing that. Nobody that sees it knows what that Drinks and Dave's is, but it's a cool logo.
Well, and I will say one thing: the people behind the scenes don't know what you and I. I mean, this was a
Mm.
6 months at
The
least
logo,
before, yeah, the logo and getting it right and getting it the right way and stuff like
you
that.
know,
So
you know why? Because we care.
that's right. We care. That see, we need to have that as a little runner. Like I remember how on CBS or NBC it says we care. That's
Now, see, PB's mentioned my blue language 3 times now. I guess I'm gonna have to watch that show.
But see, were you
See what
see?
they're actually
I
doing.
don't remember you drinking. Were you drinking during the
You
show?
just told him I brought the scotch over.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know you were drinking out of it. No, 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 no. That was during Chad's whiskey tasting that you
Mm.
brought the Scotch bottle over.
Oh no,
Yeah, I
we
don't
had
know.
we had beverages on the table when our show was
Yes, we
going
did.
on.
We
Yeah,
did. We did.
yeah.
But no, it was a good time, and we're moving full steam ahead for our 2025 con. Can't say anything yet because we're working on a couple of different options, but I will say that one of them may have some ocean in it. That's all I will say.
Well, I think this is obvious. Who gets top billing? It's the drinks.
It's
It's
the
the
drinks,
drinks and Dave's.
drinks and Dave's. Yeah.
Well, and we can probably say there probably is a good chance there will be another live physically together sometime this year.
Yes. Well, and
Because
actually, if we get to 500, there will be a McDonald's. It'd be cool
oh,
if
we
we could
have
go
to,
to.
right?
No, but we need to go to the original McDonald's if we can find out where that's at. The
Isn't that like
original McDonald's.
Chicago?
Well, yeah, but so what? Hey, but Pasteur's is in Chicago.
Okay, could you? That would even be. I could see us doing that. It'd be even more ridiculous. That'd be our YouTube video that blasts us. It goes viral.
Yeah, because we'll be sitting outside at plastic benches saying, "Live from Chicago at the original McDonald's," spending money on Happy Meals.
Sirs, can you please leave?
Then we'd have to beg for
Oh,
cab fare.
we're from live from
Oh,
your
there
RV.
that we could possibly do that.
Yeah.
That we could do. Um,
No, yeah, these are two opposite ends of the.
Okay,
I like the suggestions that are multi levels of
yes, but
ability.
for how long has this show been on now? And every week we ask for topics for our next week.
Well,
But look at how many we've gotten just on a live show somewhere in the country. So we need to do basically what they're asking for is we need to take Drinks and Dave's on the road.
on the road.
Remember the old CBS thing On the Road with Charles Kuralt?
Yes.
Remember that where he would go to some obscure little diner and start talking? We could do that.
Oh
We could
wow.
do that. Hi,
Oh,
we're we're at Mabel's Diner in Ottumwa, Iowa, and we're talking to the folks here, and they're going to look at us and go, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
We're the
We
incarnates
could
of
bomb. We
Charles
could bomb
Kuralt.
across America.
That would be obvious. That would be fun. In the motorhome with the dogs and the cats.
Mm, that would smell lovely, Dave.
Yes, it would. It would.
Oh.
So, Well, we'll take
All right.
any more questions, folks, and if not, we're going
Yeah.
to
Have we ridden this
sign
one
off.
into the ground?
This one actually, I think this went well. I think people were they were dying for us to be here. They were
Yeah.
missing us.
Yeah. But
So
and again, my memory, I keep forgetting, but I remembered this week is that we talked about doing tastings of different alcohols, and one of the first ones was going to be high end vodka. So I'm going to find that website again so we can order that.
okay.
It's going to take some time to get here, so it won't be for a couple of weeks, but we need to get on that.
So PB is asking, what about next week?
What's next week?
What can we talk about next week?
Well,
Well,
can you tell
email
PB
us.
tell PB the lead time we have for our topics? But when do we decide these?
Usually
far before the show?
usually the lead time is somewhere between 12 and 24 hours.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's even less than that.
And it's like this. It's like, you know what? This comes off effortless. I understand that. But
We stress.
should we tell we don't always have a topic.
Yes.
It might be hard to believe.
No,
But sometimes we go blind.
I think that's pretty obvious. I think they know. These guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. No, but that's what makes it fun. It's an ad lib. It's Billy Crystal. It's Billy Crystal and Robin Williams. They're just bouncing off each other.
Okay, so this would actually be very interesting. If I remember to get that website and we order it, I will let Spider know, and he can send us both a sample of their local one, and we'll have to figure out how we blind this stuff, have our wives help us out.
Okay.
But it'd be interesting throwing in a local vodka with these high-end international things.
Before we go, though, and Tig Lily, I'll have to remember, one of our viewers, in fact, I will call him our ghost viewer, Steven, said that there was something that Tig Lily should do to me in the bingo thread. Well, actually, it was in our group chat, and I think that she forgot. So I'm going to give her a couple of minutes to prepare for that.
This sounds a little water taste.
Right.
Now, so
But-
I don't know if she knows this. We went on one of the Disney cruises. We went to they do have adult restaurants, either one or two, depending on the the side of the ship that you have to pay a little bit extra for. And their high-end restaurant has a water menu that is multiple pages long,
What?
where you can get bottles of water up above $50 a bottle, and they have got things that are like melted glacial water and water from Japanese stream, like unbelievable stuff. So yeah, if she wants to do that,
No, I was just informed by our technical director that the reason why the event, what the event was, is Stephen, because of a comment that was made on our bingo thread, Stephen gave her permission to hit me on top of the head with a bowling pin. Unfortunately, I just found out from our technical director that the bowling pin is at a level that she can't reach. So that won't be happening this week. But I had
so is
another
our
idea.
liability insurance.
But see, I have another idea for a show that would be epic in nature. I mean, literally epic. You won't like it, but it'll be epic in nature.
That sounds perfect.
We have our resident hot sauce expert.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Send us each just three bottles of varying heats. We have a couple of chips, and we do like a hot ones right here live on the show. That would be no Pocky chips, nothing like that. Just hot sauces, and he can send them blind, so we don't know anything about them. And it can be a medical show at the same time.
Oh, Jesus. You might be able to talk me into that because I love our viewers.
Right.
And it'll be as long as he agrees not to do the hottest possible stuff he can
like
get his hands
like
on.
Pepper X. Yeah, like Pepper X. We won't want Pepper X.
Or hot salsa. Right. We got to.
Okay, we've got to go a little bit higher than pace.
Do we?
We got to go a little bit higher than like restaurant salsa. But see, that's what we need to do. We need to have somebody, whether it be our wives or somebody, that we give them the website for the vodka. We buy it, ship it to them. They blind bottle it, send it to us. That way, there's no way we can know what it is.
Right.
And
Well,
only
these
that
come in
person.
little tubes, little samples, so
Oh,
we
okay.
could easily blind those. It's trying to get KJs in there. Maybe we don't
I
do
think the
that.
hot sauce would be well. That's what. Hey, we always end up talking about food, right?
Yeah.
So here's what we stump the Daves with food. So our
Well, that,
barflies can send us. No, wait a minute. Think about this. They can
that
send
sounds
us.
way worse, Dave.
They can send us 3 samples of a food of any type,
Oh, Jesus,
and we
no.
have to taste it and give it. That would be awesome.
You know what? Okay,
You
mad
would eat it.
respect for this guy.
You would eat a
There's this.
cricket. You would eat
There's
a
this.
cricket.
I would eat a cricket.
Zimmer.
There's this guy called the blind surfer because he's blind and he surfs. But he does unboxings of stuff that people send him, not knowing what it is, and he'll drink bottles of, they'll send him the nasty tasting sodas or chips, and bless his heart, he can't even see this stuff, and he'll try it.
Well, here's the flaw in the unboxing, because things that are in a box that you open can pop out and jump on your face.
Well,
So it would. I see. I'm okay with
that's
food.
why I said mad respect for him.
But
Mad
see,
respect.
that's what I'm saying. Food of any type would be fine. So if somebody sends me a dead scorpion or a dead cricket or whatever, and you eat it, fine. But something that could be living in a box, I don't like the unboxing thing. I want to know exactly what we're doing. So we will ponder that, folks.
Okay,
that,
so all right. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna do a vodka one, right, Dave?
Yes.
We agreed
Right.
on that long ago. I just dropped the ball.
Yes.
I will do a hot sauce one. I will not guarantee how much of each hot sauce I will try.
No. Just a taste. Just a taste.
I'll do that. So if KJ, if you want to, no rush. This year, next year, sometime.
2028.
Up to five. Not we don't need
Wow.
much volume, right? Blinded. Send them blinded, and then we can we could have KJ on again.
Yes, at the same time, because
Right.
then he can tell us after we go through them and pick a winner, a hottest one, whatever the case may be. So it would be like the Drinks and Dave's plays hot ones. I think that would be an awesome, and then we'll have KJ on, and then the next whoever sends us some food for those,
Wait,
we have that person on. So
Okay,
if-
well, as long as
somebody-
we agree to it.
Right. So in other words, somebody sends us a can of kippers. Of kippers.
So PV mentioned, I've seen this guy. I don't think I've seen him eat Civil War rations, but he'll get very old military rations off of eBay or whatever and open them up and eat them like they're a meal. And
okay, there's where I'll
I've
throw
seen
it
him.
in.
I've seen him a few times, especially with like wet substances that could actually go bad. Not eat those, but almost anything. I've never seen him turn down something he has to reconstitute.
Now, when was the last time his channel was updated?
That's true. I haven't. Well, I never subscribed to him. You just pop up. It was pretty.
Well, no, I
interesting,
think
though.
that if we have the barflies send us stuff, there would have to be parameters. There would have to be parameters, because I don't want to see something that I open up a package and go to eat and it says expiration date 1. Just 1. I wanna see.
All right. Well, so there we go. We've got two
Okay.
shows, not immediately coming up, but one will
Right.
be hot sauces. And I tell you, everybody better hit the like button for that one, because
Well, and
you
we could
are
do-
used to heat. KJ can eat
Right.
anything.
Right.
I
But
can't
here's one. Cheeses.
Now, see, but people are not going to send you nice. Hey, you'll really enjoy this cheese, Dave. They're going to send you stuff that smells like feet.
Durian fruit.
Oh, all right. I don't know. That
So in the meantime,
is
put
in
up
your
the put up,
coffee, but-
put up the ticker about emailing us for topics,
you get
because
the-
we're going to be So please email us for any topics for next week's show, and we'll start working on the other things, and and we'll call it Death by Hot Sauce.
We'll see.
So,
Maybe KJ will whip these out, and we'll have them for.
Yeah, that
Like
would
I
be,
said,
that
no
would-
rush,
that-
but,
that would be fun. So anyhow, thank you everybody for joining us. We do apologize for our hiatus, but we are back, and thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great show, and say goodnight, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
See you later. Take care, guys. Oops.